I've never felt so cheap in my whole life. This is issue 2 of The Kingdom, Martin Quaid's unsuccessful follow-up to Tragic Kingdom. This is an abomination of a comic, a total mess. The first issue was crap too, but at least that one was readable. It was bad, but it was readable. This is just an aggressively unsatisfying and miserable affair. Between the 2 issues, we lost the artist, Aero Oliver Ritchie. He is gone now, and he was one of the few good things about the first issue. And in his stead, we have past his prime, your boy Zeck. And the art comes off feeling amateur and rushed. The story is a fucking mess. It really is. Last issue set up, it spent a lot of the page time setting up this idea that Gubbins is ganning back in time and killing Superman over and over again, and each time it is a day earlier. And that is, I'll give Martin Quaid this, that is at the very least an interesting idea. It is a unique setup, but it's gone now. Not mentioned in this, not relevant. Gubbins has had a 180, and now his motivation is trying to make the events of Tragic Kingdom happen quicker. Here are the Time Bandits. It's not even worth mentioning them since they do dick all in this story. They are about as relevant as an elephant. Then we have the totally insulting use of Captain Atamant. I am a fan of the character, so maybe this touches a nerve more for me, but I'd like to think that most of the audience would see this for how bad it is. Captain Atamant, he is linked to the events that brought about Tragic Kingdom, so Gubbins is trying to kill him. Captain Atamant appears in like 2 panels of this issue. He doesn't have a line of dialogue. He doesn't do anything. No character really even makes explicit reference to him. In fact, I would go so far to say that the only reason he appears in other panels after this is because at the last minute someone realised that they had forgotten about him and that they hadn't shown if he had survived or not. Now though, we are on to the fighting part of the comic, and to be honest, most of what is left is fighting. Superman fights Gubbins, and he gets kicked up the arse like a duck, and he has to be saved by the Tragic Kingdom version of the Trinity. I might be seeing things that are not there, but this starts to feel like Martin Quaid. He is arguing that his versions of these characters, his miserable ad-man versions of them, they are better than the regular versions. The regular versions cannot beat Gubbins without their help. But keep in mind, it's not a two-way street. These Tragic Kingdom versions, they already beat Gubbins in Tragic Kingdom without the help of their past selves. So to me, this does seem to be implying that they are superior to the versions people fucking love. We have some atrocious writing of the Eye Council. Just wait until we get to the bombshell reveal with Pantsless Stranger. Character destroying stuff. So we have our two sets of the Trinity, and it is time for them to fight Gubbins together. And this is embarrassing as a reader. The action is poor. It is quite hard to tell half the time which version of Superman or which version of Wonder Woman it is meant to be. So then, after the fight, here is a panel showing Batman nursing Captain Atamant. I reckon this is just here as a bit of admin to let readers know that Captain Atamant wasn't killed. He doesn't say anything. He's knocked out. The characters barely even talk about him. His appearance is such a bad appearance for a character. If you ask me, this is absolutely a vanity comic. It has been said and mentioned a few times over the years that with Tragic Kingdom, it was really more Alec Rose, and Martin Quaid was just putting words down onto a completed story. This feels like Martin Quaid. He started getting conscious about that, and he wanted to show people that he was just as important to Tragic Kingdom as Alec Rose. So here is his sequel without Alec Rose, and without even Alec Rose's blessing or approval. And this is a disaster. Here are some time-travelling Tiny Titans from the future who have not been alluded to once before this page, and they are important to the plot, except not really. The script thinks they are important, but they just show up out of nowhere to join the fight with no introduction or prior use in these two issues. And now someone is going to say, oh, you have to read all the one-shots. Fuck off, that is shitty comic books. Parts 1 and 2 should tell a coherent story without the benefit of tangential one-shots to explain the sudden appearance of random characters like these Tiny Titans. They didn't even day out, they're just fucking joining the fighting. It's just more fighting. I hate this comic, I really do. I think this is like one of the worst things I have reviewed on this channel. It's not offensively bad. It's not upsetting us the way something like those Spider-Man books obsessed with Pam Grier. But this is like incompetent. You would have a hard time believing that this is a professional writer, let alone one who has won multiple awards for his comics. We just have more senseless fighting, totally bland and boring. Let's just get to the two main things. First, we have the introduction of Hyper Time. If you look on the Wikipedia page for this story, it says how everyone hated it. but they were all positive about Martin Quaid's creation of Hypertime. This is barely a creation of his. DC have had a multiverse as far back as the 60s. All he's doing is dusting off an art concept. Secondly, the way this works, Hypertime, its name, everything like that, is actually Van Morrison's idea. And it's just the case that Martin Quaid, he happened to introduce it before anyone else did. And our other one, which is going to be followed up with tearing this up, is Martin Quaid reveals Pantsless Stranger, this classic enigmatic DC character who back then didn't have a definitive proven backstory. Martin Quaid is revealing that Pantsless Stranger is actually his character, and he is the son of Superman and Wonder Woman from Tragic Kingdom. And this is thankfully ignored. And all of this was ignored, really. It's got nothing at all worthy of recommendation. I personally didn't like Martin Quaid as an author, but even his die-hard fans would and do tend to agree this is a poor offering. Let's do that thing that I do not well. My fingertips really hurt when I put pressure on them. The Kingdom could best be described as a mistake. It was a mistake to write this. It was a mistake to publish this. It was a mistake to read it. There is a tiny hint of promise somewhere in the first issue, which makes it all the more worse. I rate this 7 thumbs up.